Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have a treat. We have a brand new Enagic Kangen water presentation, and it's one that I created by myself to give it a personal touch um, for what it's done for me. So, thank you for joining. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go get the presentation and we'll get started. I hope you guys can see this. All right, welcome to Enagic's Kangen Water Advanced Technology presentation. Simply changing your water can change your life. We got to have our disclaimer in here. The statement is improved. Here, information provided by the seminar has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration or Health Canada. This presentation is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, nor any of the subject matter to be taken as medical advice, intended for educational purposes only. Consult with a qualified physician and healthcare provider. Now we have to do that. Okay, so let's get in. If you haven't heard about Kangen water or you want to know what is all the buzz about, Kangen water is a delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water technology. Not only do these devices filter your tap water, but they also provide and produce ionized alkaline and acidic waters through electrolysis. These waters can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, beauty water, and cleaning. So what it is, you get one machine, but you get 5 types of water. The little machine there hooks up right in your kitchen. You can put it right on your countertop. That'll hook into your cold water line, or you can get an under counter unit as well. But it makes your strong Kangen water, your drinking waters. There's 3 of those and 3 different levels. You have your clean water, mainly for baby medication. Your beauty water is for your skin, plants, and your strong acidic is to kill viruses and bacteria. And then I forgot to tell you the 11.5 emulsifies oil, which we're going to see a little bit more of that in just a second. So again, here's the other 5 types. Your strong Kangen water is a degreaser. Then you've got your hydration, you've got your filtered, you've got your beauty water, which is an astringent, and your sanitizer. So you can see all those different things you can use in your home. Here's a quick glance of what they kind of look like. Very beautiful, having sitting in your home. I love having mine on my counter. I want people to see it when they come in, and it's just easy. Push your buttons and get your water instantly right there. So how it all began, in 1950, science researchers was conducted several unique locations in the world at what they would call, you could get miracle water. So people would travel there just so they could drink it and experience it. It's France, Germany, India, and Mexico. It's considered to be healing waters. It's because it's rich in active hydrogen, which makes it look like milk. They call it in these places in the mountains, they call it milk because of this, all the bubbles of the hydrogen makes it look milky and white. So we have our CEO here, Mr. Shiro. He's the one that envisioned this company, finding out about these waters. He learned that the basis of vitality and long life is water, because our bodies are made up of mostly water. So he found a way to, his desire was to bring the water and technology together to create this healthy miracle water. And by doing that, he named it the Kangen, because in Japanese, it means return to origin. He's 80 years young in this, same age as my mother, and she's doing well, looks great. Mr. Cheryl looks great. We got to dance with him and meet him just a few years ago in Las Vegas at the conference. It was a wonderful opportunity. I'm really thankful we got to do that. So what he did was created a manufacturing company here in Osaka, Japan. That's where they're all made. One person will build each device from beginning to end and test it and inspect it, and it is certified as a medical device. And now this company is almost 50 years old. They're celebrating it in just a couple of years, and they're already in 23 countries in 40 locations. This is a global debt-free company, and you'll notice all the certification, the water certifications. It's the gold standard in the industry, the original company that brought this to us. And so it is the top of the line, the best, the gold standard. Here's a quick view of all of the products. We also have the Ukon tea, and soap. So the miracle of alkalinity, what is the buzz? What we want to say from Enagic is this water is alkalized. It's living water. And why that's important is when we're born, the baby is fully alkaline. It smells so good, kind of like a puppy, that puppy breath smells so good. And then you go to a nursing home, or when someone's at the end of life, you can actually smell death. It's very, very not pleasant. And so what that means is when you're born, you're alkaline. When someone dies, they're very acidic. Now, when you're acidic, that's what disease is. When you're alkaline, oxygen, disease cannot exist. So here's another picture of what acidosis looks like. So when disease is setting in, we can slow this down and reverse it just by drinking water. It's the simplest thing you can do. Why? Because your brain, 75%, your blood, your heart, your bones, liver, muscles, kidneys, all of that is water. And so why not drink the best? It's going to change your life. As we can see, this was a little older here. I think it's showing here that the USA is like 25 or something ranked worst in health, but it's actually worse than that. I think the updated version is like in the 40s. But we're seeing overweight, people are obese, the healthcare costs are rising, especially in the last 2 years with all the pandemic that we've been in. It's just unbelievable the way things are headed, but we can turn things around. We got diabetes, we've got chronic diseases, healthcare's cost is rising, and cancer alone, look how much. This was from 2019. It's just ridiculous. Things that we're eating, things that we're having in our air, we're just inundated with cancer causing ingredients and things. But you know what? We can learn these, and we can stop these things, and we can change the things that we do. And it really, just some little things you can do can go a long ways. So back in 1931, Dr. Otto Warburg learned that cancer cannot survive in an oxygenated environment. It says cancer tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. Water splits into H plus and OH negative ions. If there is an excess of H plus, it is acidic. But if there is an excess of OH negative ions, then that is alkaline. And see, that is what our machines can do. It produces that negative water. But first, we want to look at the cells. Here's a healthy cell and a cancer cell. The difference, if you'll notice, the color is just there to give you that visual. But when you have all the pluses over on the right at the cancer cell, that's acidic. And it's bacteria is growing. Think about it as a pond. When water sits still, it starts to become bacteria grows and get stagnant, and disease can set in. Okay, on your left is your healthy cell. You've got your negative OHs and your positive H's, which creates that negative charge, which like a magnet, when you get two magnets, you put them together, there's energy there. So there's movement. So this water can actually get into the cells and cause movement and cleanse things out and move things out like a river. But if you have just those positives, it gets in there and it's sitting. And over time, that's how bacteria is sitting in there and growing. So I hope that visual gives you an idea and it makes sense. We have here is Dr. Shinya. He has recently retired, but he had about 40 years in. And I think by the time of retirement, he had reached 400,000 patients that he worked with. And he worked primarily with the colon. You can see here is the 3 months difference. You've got a high cholesterol, a constipation, how that builds up in that top right over there, and then a smoker, and it creates prostate cancer. And you've got the breast cancer and chronic constipation. There's a 3 months difference after drinking the Kangen water. Now, he put all his patients on Kangen water. Now, he also wrote some books I'm going to show you in just a second. Water's not the cure-all, of course. He also had his patients on probiotics and enzymes, very important. But he was able to report with clinical results 0% cancer recurrent rate. Think about that. Why isn't this blasted all over the news, right? I will say that again. None of my patients had to face cancer again. This is huge because a lot of people that get cancer, a lot of times it'll come back. We've seen that after 5 years, 7 years, a few years. So Kangen water, alkaline rich water is considered the very best drinking water. Okay, this is what the inside of the machine looks like, kind of how it works. It goes through a water filter, and then you have the electrolysis enhancer, and that creates the electricity hits and makes these negative and positive charges in the water. And so you have two tubes. One comes out acidic and one comes out with Kangen water. Now, just because the water is acidic, it still can be used. Now I'm going to show you that you can use it in your home, but your alkaline, you definitely want to be drinking that. And here's some, the way that is explained is the Kangen water that means return to origin. It takes regular ordinary tap water and puts together that electrical charge, just like lightning, and then it turns it into the Kangen water. Now, if we don't have the storms and electrical storms that we have in the earth, we live in this magnetic world, charged energy and stuff. If we don't have that lightning and charge, the sea life would die, and then we would end up dying. So the electricity of the unit, and you can see at the bottom that it makes the negative and the positive charge together, which makes this a smaller molecule water, which means you can, it hydrates you more. It gets into the cells. So by creating the smaller molecules, that will bring optimal health and healing and hydration to your body. So we give the body what it needs, it can heal itself. And we call this living water. It's alive and active. Here's a couple of books. If you want to read the science behind this, you've got Alkalized or Die. You've got The Enzyme Factor. That's the one by Dr. Shinya. He's also one called, got one about the microbe in the gut. Very, very important. And another good one is Killing Cancer, Not People, is by Robert Wright. It is excellent. He has Anti-Cancer Institute. And the number one thing on the top 10 list to do if you have cancer, number one is ionized water. So get those books. Maintain your health with Kangen water. By return to origin, you're drinking water that is clean, free of pollutants, and containing healthy minerals that has a positive pH level. So the three properties are antioxidation, or think about anti-inflammatory. What causes pain is inflammation. Superior hydration. Now you can drink other waters, but not all water the same. You can drink bottled water, tap water, and it sloshes on your stomach. With Kangen water, you won't have that because it just immediately absorbs your whole body. And then you have the alkalization process and the hydrogen. Those are life-changing to the body. Well, let's talk about what antioxidation is. Oxidation is called the rusting process. And we see that when we cut an apple, when it sits out, or we eat an apple, by the time you get all the way around, it's turning brown. That's called oxidation. And that is creating aging. That's dying. That's what we're doing. But just like you can soak this apple in the 11.5, it'll take that brown away, and you can sit it out for 2 hours. Like if you have a party in your home, it's not going to turn brown, and it's going to stay crisp and juicy. And so imagine what that's doing to our body when we're drinking it. So it's just a natural preservative, All right, here's the oxidation reduction potential. Here's a chart of the negative and positive. So what we're used to seeing to drink is bottled waters there on your right. You got sports drinks, you've got soda. Those are positive ORP, which means they're very acidic. Now your negative, you go on over to the left, you're going to see your green tea, your oranges, your cod liver oil. That's what they used to do in the old days, but we didn't have the sicknesses that we're seeing today back then. So maybe they were onto something, right? And then you got your Kangen water. It goes up to -800 and 900, especially with that K8. But that negatively charged is what creates that activity in that living water. So that's the easiest thing you can do is add the water. Now, of course, you want to eat rich pH foods, antioxidant foods like blueberries, broccoli, green tea, things like that. So great. But just one glass of water has more antioxidants power than 5 pounds of blueberries. I mean, could you eat 5 pounds of blueberries every day? No. I mean, they would be good and all, but you couldn't eat that many. So, but you can drink a glass of water. So this is huge. We all know that blueberries are great anti-inflammatory and great for the brain. So imagine that exponential antioxidation in the glass of water and how much that's going to do for your brain and your body. So anyway, do you want to eat 12 pounds of broccoli? I personally love broccoli and I eat it every week, but I couldn't eat 12 pounds a day. 20 glasses of green tea, man, we might could do that. But can we do a glass of Kangen water? You betcha. You betcha. So alkalinity, Kangen is living water. Here's just your pH chart. You know, you got your orange on the left, the acidic. You've got your purple to the right, which is alkaline, leaven. Um, this is the aging process, and it can be slowed down. This is the lifespan. So you've got life on the birth at the to the right, and we're headed toward that on the left, but we want to slow down that process. Okay, self-love. Okay, this beauty water is great for your skin. Self-care. You know, the beauty water is acidic water used for, you can use it on your skin to tone it. You could take a bath or shower, and it helps close those pores after washing your face. Just, and it's great for your hair. It makes it shiny. A lot of people have done away with using conditioner and just use the beauty water. Here's the beauty water you can spray on your hands, very anti-aging, fountain of youth. Just by drinking the water, it says here to your right, you know, beauty is not what you put on your skin, it is how well you stay hydrated. So true. But this lady to the left here, as she's aging, she has sprayed the beauty water on her hand, and that's the difference. And you can actually experience that. I like to do that when I do events and demos. It's really neat. But yeah, you can use this on your hair, like you said, for plants. Men can shave. The pets love it. It's great for their skin, their fur coat. Right here, you've got benefits of the beauty water continues skin improvements. People with, you know, acne, psoriasis, things like that. You know, look at these pictures before and after. It's just remarkable. Now, the one on the right, I don't personally know this young guy, but he was 12 years old several years ago now. He had a third-degree burn. They wanted him to have a skin graft to come back in 2 weeks. Someone told him about Kangen water. His family, they got him to drink in the water. They sprayed those, you know, 11.5 and Beauty and 2.5, and it healed so nicely that he didn't have to have the skin graft. So saved him tons of money, saved his family tons of money, and you know, surgery. You don't want to have surgery if you don't have to. So what a beautiful thing. And that the beauty water does help reduce scarring too over time. Here is another example. This lady to the left applied 3 of the waters topically, but then she did drink quite a bit of an amount of the 9.5 daily. This one in the middle there was a gentleman that came by an event table that I had. It was in the middle of July. He was very interested in the water, and I kept talking to him, and he saw some pictures, I think, of the girl there in the book that I had on the left with psoriasis. And he's like, does this help that? I mean, this is what I have. And he pulled up his pants leg and showed me his leg. And I said, come here, sit down for 10 minutes. And we got some paper towels that I had and soaked them with 11.5 and wrapped it. And you can see there before and after, just in 10 minutes, that was the difference, which is very remarkable. Up there to the top, you're going to see a bruise. You wrap your ankle with 11.5 on a towel, and you know, just look what happened. The bruising is better where the towel of 11.5 laid. You've got your cellulitis there. It helped that lady. You know, again, no medical claims, but we ask you to experience it. See what it does for you. You tell me. This is where it gets personal right here for me. This was me on the right. Accident happened in August 2017. We had a tornado earlier that year. We were still doing some cleanup, and the log was coming down the hill rolling, and I ended up tripping and falling, and we actually literally collided in midair. It was nothing I could have done to stop it. But I did stop the log with my face. As you can see there, broke my nose. I didn't go dark or anything. This was 11x17 log. And see that one in the middle there where the 11 is, that was the side that hit the side of my, you know, it was right near my temple. It curved around, and it broke a lot of the little bones right through here into my eye, and then of course broke my nose. So, but yeah, this was on the ride on the way to the emergency room. And then I did document this daily once I come home. I knew what I had in the water, so I sprayed the 11.5 in the beauty water and the 2.5 topically. And I would take a Q-tip, and the 11.5 would bring the pus. That's why I didn't swell. I should have been black and blue and really swollen. Now that day 3 there on the left is the worst bruising. There with the blue was right there on my, I guess it was on this side is where it hit. And so that's about as dark blue as it got. And I did have some yellowing on some of the other days. And some days I might have looked a little worse, but as far as bruising, I should have been really black. But over to the right is 1 full week. It was either 7 or 8 days. It was 1 full week. I think it was 7 full days, the difference. My nose was still broken there, but the picture on the left, was me on my 48th birthday on the far left, and then this was 2 weeks there beside of there after my accident. This was before my nose surgery. So we had went to Tennessee that weekend. Now I came back on September 14th, and I had nose surgery, and that is the picture. And then 4 days later, they took that all that off and pulled that packing out. And I mean, I should have been black and blue. Should I not? Shouldn't I have been more, swollen? I should have been, but the water is amazing. I would spray that 2,5 and it dried up that scar, the scab. If we go back and look, I would spray the 2,5 and use a Q-tip, and the 11,5 would bring the infection out, and then the beauty water would be like that moisturizer. But go back to where that packing is. When that was the worst part. When I went back, they say that's the worst part of a nose surgery is when they pull that packing out, because the packing is stuck to the inside of your nose, and it just rips the inside of your nose, and it makes it raw, and it just blood flows, and then they say it drains for a week. But because I had sprayed, beauty water all over my face, those fibers and the packing got wet, and so when I went up in the nose, water travels. It just healed the inside of my nose. So therefore, when they pulled that out, it was just like pulling out a tissue. I was just so relieved, because I was just really scared, because everybody's like, yes, that's the worst part. But I'm really, really thankful. I could have taken my eye out. It could have busted my teeth. If it had hit me right here, it would have killed me. If it had went a little bit further on the side, it would have killed me. Could have broke my neck. I could have been paralyzed. I mean, God, thank you. He saved me, and was with me that day. So let's go on. Try to keep this. I'll move through this pretty quickly. The 2.5 is not only that astringent, it kills bacteria. You can clean your house, your meats. If you were to have E. coli, it kills it in 30 seconds. It kills staph, salmonella, MRSA, all that in 30 seconds. We have lab proof of that. So, talk about the days of germs in here, and fighting off, viruses and things. You need this. And two, what's so great about it is it's not the 2.5 is water. It don't have any kind of chemicals, and people are constantly putting those hand sanitizers on their, it's going directly into your bloodstream. Just be careful. A lot of these doctors and nurses I'm hearing are getting thyroid issues. What we put on our skin, whether it be makeup or in our hair, or what we bathe in, goes right into your bloodstream. So we are being inundated. That's why a lot of people are having thyroid issues, because they're just chemical laden. So the 11.5 here, it will emulsify oil. So that takes off the oil-based herbicides and pesticides. It's going to clean see the spinach down there. You would be surprised how nasty grapes and strawberries are. I see people eating those in the before they get to the checkout, like they might eat a few at the grocery store in their cart. Please don't do that. It is filthy nasty. It is filthy nasty, and tap water can't wash this stuff off. You need Kangen water 11.5. If not, you're eating this stuff, and then compounded over years, people are getting disease, and we can prevent this. We can prevent some of these things. So 11.5, again, you can put this in your laundry, clean your fruits and vegetables, emulsify oil. If you're drinking this, isn't going to cut down the oil that could be building up in your body that causes some other issues? Think about it. All right, and our pets love it. The organic pet, not just cats and dogs. We've got horses, all kinds of farm animals. They're using these commercial units on the farms. So wound care, skin. I've got a personal story of my dog I'm going to show you here in a couple of slides. But yeah, pets and vets love Kangen water. It's good for the whole family. Give your pets the very best water that they deserve. Your pets deserve the best too, Kangen water. And I know a lot of people will buy more for their pets than they will themselves. Just like when I got started and learned about Kangen water, my dad was sick. He was a 60-year smoker. He was in the ICU. He would get prone to get pneumonia. And back in 2010, let's see, 2000, I think it was 2010 was his worst year. He ended up he was on a ventilator for over 14 days, and he ended up having a tracheotomy. But he did really, really well. And then after that, we got him on the Kangen water. I got the device. My mom helped me get the device to give the water to him. And when he would drink it, we had miracles. And but of course, he's older. People can't live forever, and they're set in their ways. Dad was never really health conscious, so his older brother died, and I think after that I just saw him kind of give up and go down. So, but anyway, we will buy things more to help others a lot of times than we do ourselves. So many people want the best for their pets. So here I was making this presentation, and it reminded me of my story about my own dog Nico. So I went and I pulled up Facebook old post, and I knew he, as a Maltese, you have this red trait around the nose and the mouth and the paws, and I knew that had went away for Nico, and I knew that the Congo water had helped do that, but I'd never really looked back at the timeline. But I asked how long it took, because all of a sudden one day we realized, hey, that red is gone. It's got to be the Congo water, right? So as I made this presentation this weekend, I look on 2009, it's dated. And because Nico was starting to have a lot of allergy issues, skin issues, his energy was getting low, he was getting older. And I know the Congo water prolonged his life, because there in 2009, look, he says, Nico's turned into a lap doggy. He's getting older just like the rest of us, slowing down and losing some of his hyperness, but he's still strong. He has a strong bark. So that he was 4.5 years old. Then I've got dated there 2011. Nico is dressed and ready for old man winter. He was 7 years old there. We got this water machine in 2013. And you notice there on the far right, February 13, 2014, we had a big snow, got a little boots, and we were outside, and he could still see the red there. So we got it in November. I don't nearly quite know when I started giving him the water, but I'm pretty sure I started giving it to him in that November of 2013. So here, far left, we've got 2015. You can still see that around his mouth. And in honor of National Night, I made a post about it. Here's my Nico, a Maltese, has always for years and years had this red tinted fur around the mouth and eyes since drinking water. It's all white now. Now he still had some right there, but his eyes were all gone and his paws was white. But see, his mouth was still had some. So he was 9 years old, which was 63 years old in doggy years. And then it's cute little cartoon there on the right. Thanks, Henry. This looks great and all, but does your house have Kangen water? Now, given the choice, dogs, if you put down tap water that's got chlorine and you've got the Kangen water side by side, they will choose the Kangen water. It's really neat to see. Now, here in 2016, his hair is shorter, but look how white he is. Made a big difference in the quality of life and extension for Nico. I'm so glad that we had it for him. But imagine if he had been drinking Kangen water from the time he was born. I just know he would have lived longer. He did have heart failure. There is in the middle, it shows 2017. Look, his little mouth is all clear. His little paws, you can see. His little eyes, you can see. The red stains had went away by 2017, which he would have been, 15. He was 9. So he was 11 years old in 2017. So it's really cute. He loved his clothes and he loved his little toys. Now he was a little dirty there on the right, but he still, you can see there's no red stains, but it looked like he had a little doggy toga on. I love that picture. It was so funny. I found him like that. His little sweater, his little leg had come out. So, but there he was again in 2017 when we moved at our present location. He was about 99 years old right there. And I do miss him, the sweetest little personality. Right there he was on the right. It's about a week before he passed. I was actually out of town building my Congo water machine business here. I was in Georgia with a team member when my mom, I hated leaving him. I really thought he would be fine until I got back. And I really hated it happened to my mom, but he passed away at my mom's. But I know that was in 2018. I really believe he would have lived longer. His little heart just gave out on us. But, if he'd have been drinking the Congo water the whole time, I know he would have lived longer. So alkaline water, what can we do? We can help ourselves. We can also help our community. The new paradigm in health reform is prevention healthcare. We must change ourselves in order to change our lives and better our community. So it begins with us. So individually, your health is your responsibility. It lies in your hands. The easiest thing you can do is change your water. Alkaline water has become the most important advancement in healthcare since penicillin, Dr. William Kelly said, author of Cancer Cure. Don't forget your plants and your produce. This is some flowers that I personally had. I had them at work for about a week. They were in regular water at work, and I brought them home. The first picture top left was the first day I brought them home. And then the second picture there to the right of that one is you look how much they bounce back just overnight in Kangen water. So now I didn't change the water daily, but they lived to be 6 weeks. Some of them there at the bottom right, those were still alive within 6 weeks. So imagine what, this is going to do for your body if you're drinking it, just like the plants. And look there at the top right, you've got cilantro. It was wilty and dying. We put it in some Kangen water and it bounced right back. Same thing with celery. Now, you go to the store and you bring it home, you want to wash it before you put it in the refrigerator. But let's just say you're busy and you have good intentions, but you forgot. So you put it in your refrigerator and this does start to turn wilty. You can get it out, put it in some Kangen water and revive it. It makes it crispy again. So, but yeah, if you put it in there before you wash it when you get home, it's going to last up to 2 weeks. It's amazing. So it's going to save you lots of money. Now, don't forget, you want to make your teas. If you like tea and coffee and lemonade, even beer here, you're going to make it with the Kangen water. It's going to make it much healthier, less acidic. It's going to be smoother, sweeter tasting, no bitterness. Coffee is made. You hadn't had a good cup of coffee unless you've had the Kangen water. So got to try it out. All right. And restaurants, cafes, they're all getting, it's becoming such a, I'm glad people are being more educated about this type of water and that people are seeing the value to get it in the restaurants, in their cafes. They're making smoothies. They got juice bars, and they've got the sign, we proudly serve Kangen water. People in the community are so excited to have this. So they're popping up all over the nation and globe. Right here, you even got the spas getting in on the bandwagon, the massage centers, you got your wellness centers, you got your, you can have even the Anespa in your business and use it in with facials and even your nail salons. So this is state-of-the-art technology, but you can also have this right in the comfort of your own home, which is amazing. Now, here's the product line. Again, the decision now is which one is right for you and your family, and I can help you decide that. So whether it's based on budget, whether it's based on, you're getting older in life and you don't have much time, you want to get the powerful as you can, that's your K8. Now, if you want to start out, if you single or small family starting out, we've got the junior 4, and it's a good starter unit. And again, we have some financing. So it is very affordable. We can make it happen for you. Now, people that are business minded, a lot of people, this is your goal here. You want to get the trifecta, and we can talk about that. Big business owners do definitely see the value of this. You've got your power, performance, and protection all in one package. So again, the time to act is now, because your future self is praying that you do so. So I'm so thankful. I know my health would have been in poor shape by now if I hadn't have started this journey 8 or 9 years ago now, thanks to my dad. And you're going to see the Kangen water there to your right is that milky color. It's full of hydrogen and oxygen, so much so that if you take a lighter and the water's coming out of the machine and you put the lighter on it, you can hear that popping. You're going to hear those gases. That's a live living water. You're not going to find that, you think you can go buy alkaline water at the stores and the grocery stores. Yeah, they're selling it now because it's a fad, right? But it's not the same. It's got chemicals in it to make it alkaline, but it is not doing anything for your health. It's going to actually, if it builds up in your body, those chemicals will be harmful to your organs. So it's not the same. Trust me, don't be fooled. We have had a lot of people fooled, and years later, when their health is suffered, they come back and say, hey, can you tell me more about that? Machine, I try to save money, but now it's ended up costing me more in the long run. So don't be that person. Just trust me. We can come up with a plan for you. You want your health, you want your wellness, you want your relationships. And you know what? If you have all 3 of those, your stuff's not going to matter if you don't have your health. So when your health is better and your wealth is better, your relationships are going to be better. And what does that bring? It brings happiness. So if you want to know more, there are my information. You can take a picture of that if you like, my phone number, my email. And then also, if someone invited you to this call, please get back with that person. Okay. That's the way we operate this. We want to go with the person that invited us. So that's all. We can come back later at another date. I can show you a 10-minute demo. And if you want to reach out to me, I can text you that as well. So anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. And if you got any questions, feel free to put it in the chat and send me a message, text me, email me. I'm glad to Glad to answer all your questions. So thanks again. Have a good night.